Welcome to Vox Scream, a Kill Team podcast where we aim to help players of all skill levels supercharge their game and separate the signal from the noise. I'm Mark Meyer, joined by Kill Team heavyweights George Pratt and Joe Gallo. We're coming to you from the Triangle region in North Carolina. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
We need a buff slate after the nerf slate. Like,
We do.
it's
I
just
agree.
karma.
I agree. We need
Because
a
the nerf
buff
slate
slate.
was the most boring fucking thing I've ever read.
You know what would
Did you
really
do
spice
anything
up
to shake
Kill
them
Team
up?
is giving Hearthkin salvagers the most insane guns you've ever seen in your life, dude. That would be
Settle
great
just
for
letting
everyone.
them use grudge tokens again, frankly.
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone to Vox Scream. We've got a lovely show for you today. We are joined by friend of the pod, Mark French. What's going on, boss?
Just, swimming around in the numbers.
We got a lot of numbies for y'all today, but we've got a lot of big news that we got to get to first.
Yeah,
Got to start with the
Jesus.
most important news, and that is, of course, event announcements. We have got an upcoming tournament in the Triangle. When you hear this, that is going to be on this coming Saturday, October 11th. It's going to be 4 rounds at Atomic Empire in Durham. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to be there. Joe's going to be there. Mark's going to be there. We're all going to be having a great time. So come out and play some Kill Team
Brag
with
about
us.
it. I'm actually going to be playing a tournament in Jersey at the same day.
That's awesome. We're all going to be playing a tournament with George in February, and that is because the Cherokee Open is back for another year of Kill Team
I
fun.
think it's in March.
Currently, tickets are on sale for the Cherokee Open, and it is currently scheduled for the weekend of February 20th to the 22nd.
Just a quick fact check here, folks. That is not in March.
Hey, I said I think that there's room for error there.
Certainly.
I'm only the TO. What do you want from me?
And I guess all 3 of us are going to be at NYO because I got bullied into it.
Are you going?
I mean, that's
Listen, get your real ID so you can take this flight.
yeah, that's the plan. So I guess all 3 of us are going to be at NYO. Didn't anticipate that, but it'll be good Worlds practice for me. And hopefully we can
absolutely.
get George or Mark their tickets as well. Shout out to Mr. David Heatwell, who's competing right now, or will be tomorrow, I guess, competing at LVO, and we'll be potentially talking about how that went next week, because that's
Yeah.
a big one.
So he actually started playing already. We're recording this on Friday, and he ended the day 2-1.
Oh, they started playing already. Okay,
Yeah, it's 9 rounds. 3
I didn't realize it was
Friday,
3.
Saturday,
3
Sunday.
I didn't
days,
realize
3
it was a
days in a
3-day.
row. Yeah.
Is he on Legionnaire?
Yeah.
Okay, 2-1. He can still do it. There's a lot of people still got their tickets. So
Yep,
Oh, absolutely. And I trust David's play with Legionary, and I think Legionary are good right now. Like, the
Absolutely,
the Grizzly Mark, just like on an objective that
Is
your opponent has
so
to do a 2
brutal right
APL
now,
action
dude.
on. Disgusting.
the Nuncio and the Grizzly are very brutal with the new TAC op decks and also the new crit op deck. It's just, God help you if you don't have 3 APL consistently.
Yeah.
Teams that we don't know if they're going to have 3 APL consistently. We've got the 2 teams from Dead Silence, which were just announced earlier today on Friday.
Wild.
Got to touch on that a little bit.
This Dead Silence sounds like a fucking Turok game subtitle.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I'm super excited. This might be a box I get both sides of. I was really excited about the Wolf Scouts when I heard it through the rumor mill. I'm fully expecting these guys to probably be like 12 to 13 wounds, 7-inch movements.
So Mark actually brought up Mark Mayer. Meyer, sorry.
Thank you.
Brought up looking at it and made me go back that the Wolf Scouts have a weird proportion.
That was actually me, but
That was
Yeah,
Mark French.
right.
Yeah.
who's counting? Yeah,
Again,
they
I
are
mean,
they are
they're in-
proportioned as firstborn.
Yeah, they look like firstborn.
Interesting.
Like if you just look at their height relative to their width,
That's
they're
interesting.
shorter than Primaris.
Did it say anything in the article about them being firstborn?
I didn't read it, but then again, I didn't really read the article. I just sort of
Because if
skimmed it.
I don't think it matters if they're firstborn, because it seems like they pretty much have scaled marine wounds to be standardized at this point. I might
Well,
be
they're-
wrong.
They're all supposed to be veterans because, Wolf Scouts.
And it
So
looks
if they're
like 7
firstborn,
bodies, 3 marines, 1 wolf.
I think it's going to be 6. 6 bodies.
Plus the wolf.
No, I think the wolf is going to be a body. It's 6 Marines and the wolf as options, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 6-body team on the table.
The word born does not appear in the article.
Okay, so that'll be interesting.
Whole or in part.
But I think they're going to be 12 wounds because they're either Phobos Primaris Marines or they're firstborn veterans
in Phobos
like Death Watch
armor.
veterans. They'll have an extra wound on top of the 11.
I understand scouts had to be like made as a kid, but like this is so much more kill team than fucking generic ass scouts we got, dude. Super excited.
We were butting heads in the Raleigh Discord earlier, and I was like, oh, we don't need another Scouts kill team. And you're just like, the original Scouts kill team was just a bad kill team because it's just not unique models that have unique functions like kill team should. And I totally agree with that, you know?
Literally, like that. The joke when they did the Warriors pod at Nova is that it was going to be the Scouts pod because they all they have is mostly Warriors. Like
that's so funny.
I also think that it's a team that is a problem in tournaments because all of the tripwires and doodads and doohickeys. Like it takes forever to set up a game with those guys. It takes forever.
I'll tell you what, Canoptic with the fucking stream is really annoying too. Like I can't wait because I'm having Ezra print me 6 inchers for that so I can actually visually show my opponent where the stream is. And it's so hard.
We don't do phrasing anymore.
Oh, whatever. Shut up. The stream is going to be 6 inches. So that I can like visually see where it is because it's just much easier for your opponent to keep track of like visually of like where it is at any given time.
But I mean, we had the same issue with the Ravener's tunnel.
Yes.
Right. And then you're trying to draw lines between the edges of the tokens and sometimes they go under walls and like
it's just
the Canoptic one won't go under the walls. You got to go around, but it's still the same thing. Like if it's just the tokens, it's hard to kind of sort out.
The thing that I've found that I really like with doing the Ravener stuff is like I can just tack down my my tokens for the tunnel, and then it's kind of like easy for me to, at that point because it's not like I'm moving them around. But like that seems to be the tricky part.
Canoptics is moving all the time is the problem because you have deploy that lets you move them around. Which, by the way, making them 9 activations is probably one of their strongest things they can do. Because they're out activating a lot of the meta teams and it lets you take Envoy pretty easily. But I was going to say for the Tau stealth suits, now that's a stat line I'm going to be interested to see.
I'm so excited for the stealth suits.
They look great.
My prediction is going to be...
Oh, what were they last edition?
They were 10 wounds and a 3-up save, 2 APL.
They were 2 APL. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be 6 bodies, right?
No, well, so I think we were talking about this before we started recording. I think they're going to be 6 stealth suits and 2 drones.
2 drones.
So they'll be like Rekka sized.
Yeah.
See, I do one of the things, for everything we've criticized about the power level of the teams or whatever that have come out, I do like the compositions of these teams in terms of like the mixing and the matching of stuff and just the visualization of the models. That has been absolute premium.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the stealth suits look great. I think if you like the look of Firstborn Marines, the Space Wolf models have a ton of character. The aesthetic doesn't do it for me, but that's a personal preference thing. It's fine.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I'll I don't know. We'll probably maybe get them before the end of this year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to release on the Rekka's Rattlings timeline, like just right after Christmas. That sort of thing. I'll tell you, this to me feels like kind of an overcorrection because they put out those Saturnine Terminators where they've just got like the pauldrons that are just fucking chonkers, dude. Exactly, massive. And then you look at these Space Marine Scouts, these Wolf Scouts, and they're just like you could probably see their face from over their shoulder. It's just ridiculous shit, man. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's actually interesting that because they do look like Firstborn Marines. Just more detailed, which is really nice.
They're like modern Firstborn sculpts.
Yeah, people have been complaining for years about the Primaris scale, so maybe if
I think Primaris scale's like visually quite appealing.
Well, but they complain about the existence of Primaris. That's a whole other thing.
People gonna complain about anything.
I know. I personally don't mind the Primaris as a concept, but anyway, I think. I'm actually really excited we're getting a Space Marine Psyker in that team because we haven't had a Space Marine Psyker in
ever.
I mean,
never in kill team.
Loyalist Psykers.
Do we count? We have never had a Loyalist Psyker outside of Grey Knights. And then
Grey
do we count the Visionary on Night Lords because he has a Psyker keyword?
No, because there's the Acolyte on Legionary. Like there's been
he doesn't really cast spells.
Every Chaos Marine team has had a Psyker.
Yeah, you got the Balefire on Legionary. You've got all of the
Visionary on Nemclaw, the Warp Coven Sorcerers, and then Plague Marines have the Playcaster. So every Chaos Marine team has had a Psyker.
That's a good point.
Is this the solution to Angels of Death? Is just give them a librarian?
The solution is still give them rules.
Yeah, and a librarian would have rules.
The solution is just lump them into fucking Deathwatch at this point, because it's just like...
the real solution is all those players are going to go play Deathwatch.
I would be really interested to be a fly on the wall of that conversation. Like, because here's the thing. When the starter set came out last year, they had to have known they were going to release the Deathwatch models by that point, right? So, like...
For sure,
that means they were just like, oh, we just got a bunch of these extra models lying around. We need to fucking get rid of them?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, so I do think that the way that AOD does not have 6 paragraphs of bespoke rules on every data card actually makes them a better team in a starter box.
Agreed.
100%.
Right. It's the same reason why when I teach Kill Team demo games,
you use AOD,
I play 6-body Marine teams, and you get 5 normal intercessors with bolters, and 1 sergeant with a plasma pistol and a power sword. Because now, like, you get to see shooting, you get to see 1 limited ranged weapon, you get to see melee with either kind of a shitty damage profile because they're all just fists, or a good damage profile. But you don't spend a ton of time reading rules for individual models and trying to think about individual operatives and their positioning and what they can do and they can't do. You think about the core rules of the game, which is the important thing to learn in a demo game. And then once you've got cover, engage and conceal, dice resolution, like once you know the core rules of the game, like, okay, now go pick a team that you like, either because you like the rules, or you like the aesthetic, and like learn all their special rules. And all those special rules are all of the ways that they break the core rules. But learn the core rules first. And I occasionally get people who say, hey, like, I own this kill team. I want to come play a demo game and I want to use my models. I was like, well, if you really want, like, okay. But I actually suggest that you wait. Because otherwise you don't concentrate on the core rules.
I play Imperial Agents and I saw these Inquisitorial Agent kill teams. Is that a good one to start with?
Yeah, great. Like, no, seriously, like, pick the team you like. I'm not actually someone
it's just
you could play 12 Inquisitorial Agents, and that's not like a terrible kill team.
That might be the worst kill team in the game. I think it might be the worst kill team in the game.
I don't know.
I could think of 3 worst kill teams.
Yeah,
and it's funny enough, you could take many of them as ancillary support options for the Inquisition.
I know. But anywho, super excited. They've been killing it with these releases lately. I think everyone is super hyped for the next 2 boxes. We may even get another filler box in between this one and the Raptors one.
Don't the filler boxes usually come out after the season is over?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, maybe there's another box in the season that has my Chaos Demons in it.
Oh, and before we go any further, just wanted to quickly shout out. Thank you to everybody that was on the stream the other day. That was a ton of fun. Also, the GoFundMe to help send me to Worlds. We hit our goal immediately. Within a day, which was amazing. Thank you, everybody. It is still going on through October. Now we're just basically trying to fundraise for me to upgrade my setup so I can stream more. Ideally, I want to stream 2 days a week. And also the added benefit is if you donate $25 or more, you get a personal coaching session with me on TTS or in person if you happen to be in North Carolina. And you would like to do that.
Golden ticket winner Joe Gallo.
Yeah,
I legitimately need his help because I got to step my game up.
Yeah. A lot of the reason that, legitimately though, a lot of the reason that even the 4 of us are here is because while we were playing Guild Team, we would always just like go through and we would coach each other. So I can tell you for certain that spending time getting coaching from Joe is not a waste of your time. It is, in fact, a helpful resource. And if you do want to take advantage of something like that, $25 is Literally, Joe giving away his time for free is what he's doing.
So get it while it's hot, I guess. We'll probably put the GoFundMe in the description for the podcast.
Yeah, we'll definitely link that into the description. And yeah, just like you were saying, Joe, thanks a lot to our wonderful fans out there.
Yeah, y'all killed it.
It means insane. A lot to me that you're helping Joe out. Y'all are great.
And if you don't know why that's happening, I'm currently my mother's full-time caregiver. She is recovering from an amputation post cancer diagnosis. And that kind of requires me to be here full time. And she's good news coming back on Tuesday from a multi-month hospital stay, which included her arm getting amputated. But as I adjust with that and being unemployed, so I can keep doing all of the fun things we do for this podcast, that is what it's for. Don't be like, oh, why am I giving this fully employed guy money? No,
listen,
you're helping
I'm
me.
fully employed. Give me money.
You're helping me take care of the person I love the most and also do Kill Team and stream and stuff like that. So beyond thank you. I can't even put into words.
Yes,
Seriously.
as somebody who is still a TTS novice, I would love to see Joe get on TTS, and his computer right now can't run Minesweeper, let alone TTS. So we're in the process of trying to get him upgraded.
Oh my God.
And every dollar.
I tried it. Laptop made in 1992.
No. So I did the math. I got it in, I want to say 2015, 2016. So it's
your laptop is 10 years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What do you want from me?
What manufacturer is it? I need to know. I need to buy only their shit from now on.
The funniest part, I didn't even pay for it. The fucking government paid $1,000 off of my student loans.
That's an absurdly expensive laptop. But
it
I guess not. It lasted for a fucking decade.
Wait, yes. $1,000 is an absurdly expensive laptop?
For me, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my work laptop, and I know what that cost.
I'm flabbergasted you have a laptop for that long.
It has served the podcast, but we would like it to serve the people that listen to this podcast better. So we can do TTS, we can put those games potentially on the YouTube, all of that stuff. So if you would like to help out, and you also want to get a coaching session for me, down below.
I was just going to say that I had one follicle up here that was trying to grow back in, and it fell out at the thought of a college laptop, because when I went to college, there was no such thing. Oof.
Yeah, they used papyrus
viewers
back in your day.
I need you to know this. It's just shit like this that he says, where we go, how old is Mark French?
No, we have already. I'm not going to dox his age, but we have a range. It's not that hard to figure out.
I legitimately don't know Mark French's age, and I couldn't tell you.
Well, I will tell you the range. The only
40
range
and 90.
It is more than 40. I will tell you that,
and it is less than 90. Let me just help you out there.
All right,
Mark French probably learned how to code on a typewriter. Is all I can really say.
I have actually written code for a machine that accepted it in the form of punch cards.
Oh, nice. We recently said goodbye to Approved Ops 2024. Yes. And we have a whole bunch of stats to send them off with, because we just wrapped up another 10-week league at Atomic Empire. Part of the reason we have our lovely friend Mark French on is to talk about those stats. And before we jump into that, just want to say thanks a lot to our friends at Norwich Kill Team. They sent us some stats. Y'all are great, and we love our friends across the pond. Also want to shout out our friend Jason at KT Cards, who sent us some stats as well. So thank you very much.
We're uniting the Kill Team scene one at a time, and by we, I mean Mark French, literally by sweat of his brow and gumption. But
yeah, I've been bullied here in the New York area to start running a league, so I'm gonna need that software you're working on sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
listen, man, I assure you, there is no one more interested in getting it out than me.
I know. Either way, this is some if you've been listening, we've been working on for a long time, and we just keep adding more and more numbers to it. So the bigger this gets, the more likely that GW notices, and that means potentially, and I do mean potentially, the game gets balanced better. So
yeah. So the numbers we're going to be talking about today are drawn from the better part of 1,000 games. That 1,000 games is over
it's the
course of the edition. So these scores go back to October of last year.
Oh, okay, cool. Tight.
The entirety of Approved Ops 2024.
Yes, which is pretty awesome, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. If I can get to the point where I actually have like a system that is requires less manual intervention than the sort of jankety system I'm using currently, I am delighted to open it up to other league organizers. And we've had a couple of requests from people like, "Hey, can I use your system?" And the answer is fundamentally, I would love to make that available to you, but like I still have to do too much of this by hand behind the curtain, and I'm not in a position to make it widely available yet. But the new one will be built to just let you run with it, and I am delighted to let people use it and harvest their stats in return.
GW, my life is yours if you use this system correctly.
Yeah, I will gladly send you all of the data. Data privacy? Pfft, who needs it?
I don't need it for Kill Team.
I mean, for the record, I have been extremely careful not to release any individual person's stats to anyone but that person. I'm happy to talk about them in bulk and in aggregate and on average, but I don't talk about the individual stats of anyone. Historically, the only two people I ever talked about their individual stats were mine and George's, because he and I specifically sat down and talked about it, and like that was chill.
Because I'm cool like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said looking like he's the fucking bouncer at a swinger party right now.
Yeah, if you're not watching this episode on video, go and check out what George is wearing. Go check out the YouTube.
Oh man, this feels awful because I'm always the guy who's listening to every podcast, and then at some point, inevitably, an episode goes, "Oh, if you're not watching this one, you should watch this one." And I'm always like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, it's your fault today,
I'm that guy. No,
it's not my fault.
Me.
It's not my fault you're naked right now.
Damn it.
Well, not the first shirtless podcast. Certainly won't be the last.
No. Not if I have anything to say about it.
Ooh.
Mark, I mean, before we get into these larger stats, was there anything from like this past iteration of the league that jumped out at you?
So I think I've mentioned it the last couple of leagues, but it remains the case that I am super interested in the shift over the last couple of years that I've been organizing the league at Atomic, that when we started out, almost everyone was switching teams on a regular basis. And like we used to have a prize called Master of One that we gave out to people who played only one team over the course of a league. And I have just stopped awarding that prize because in this most recent league, I would have had to give it to literally half the people in the league.
And that's actually quite impressive, considering there's so many teams to play.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you can do it. Yeah. You can double
So
dip.
we had Will in our most recent league. His stats are a little bit off because he got a bye, and he was hoping to play all 10 games. He only ended up playing 9 because that's just the way the bye worked out. But he played 9 different teams into 9 different opponents.
Whoa.
In 9 weeks, which is like, I think, George once did 10 teams in 10 weeks, but he had duplicate opponents. I think this is the first person who's ever actually gone a different team on both sides of the table every week for the entire league.
It's crazy to think about how if he had played a 10th game and it was against another unique faction, that would still be less than half of the total number of kill teams. Because I think we're at 42
Correct.
Teams now.
42 teams in the game.
Yeah.
About to go to 30.
Still, it's pretty crazy that even happened at all.
Yes. Statistically speaking, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he can absolutely control which team he plays. But the interesting thing to me, sort of the other thing that has been sort of remarkable to me, is the extent to which our local meta is actually like kind of weirdly diverse, in that we have a fairly large group of people, but they're playing a remarkably large group of teams. And so we still have a number of people who are switching around. And so we end up seeing a bunch of teams. But we also have about half the folks played one team all the way through.
Did we have any undefeateds?
One.
Was it Harper?
Yeah. Yeah, the league winner went undefeated.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I'm going to bully Harper for a second. This fucker, the last week, the reason we had to delay, I think even this episode technically, was because fucking Harper was like, at the beginning, and to be fair, going to college, fine, whatever.
Let it be known that we support bullying on this podcast, as George said, and that Joe is now bullying an 18-year-old.
Yes, I am, and proudly so.
He's
in fact,
legal. It's fine.
Proudly so, because I think he played fucking Sanctifiers for the vast majority of it too. So he
kicked my ass in week 8 or week 9.
Yeah, so I'm going to bully him because he played his last round, or was trying to get his last round on fucking TTS because he was away in the mountains, fucking 4 hours away, and him and poor Eddie were trying to schedule their last game, and they were both Eddie was out of town the week Harper was in town, so they had to wait another additional week. And I was watching them play that game across the way when they actually finally played it. And I just saw a bunch of Corsairs lined up in a line on Engage. He's just like, well, what do I do? And I'm just like, I don't know, Eddie, die. And that was how that went. So,
yeah. So I'm probably not going to do that again.
Like
we tried to be super flexible with Harper because like he had to move out of town because he went to college, and good for him, right? Like, go get an education, son. But
and also
the logistics on this one just
TLDR. Harper is like right next to me when it comes to being like our Sweat Lore competitive players, in terms of like amount of games he plays in a given week. He is our version of Landon from the Florida scene. And my favorite Florida Kill Team Psycho, Landon. And Harper is our version of that, in that they're both young, play crazy good games, and like do consistently well, and are just
and play a lot of games.
Yes, and are fucking phenoms. Harper is next on my list to get a ticket for the Triangle. In my opinion.
I think it's also worth noting that we did a slightly different format for this league than we've ever done before.
The pods.
In that we did random pairings for the first 7 weeks of the 10-week league. And then, based on results in the first 7 weeks, we split people up into pods of 8 people apiece, which basically gives you a little 3-round bracket in each pod. And we then awarded a prize to the winner of each pod. And so Harper won pod 1, which was the one with the highest win rate folks. And so was, by that measure, the overall winner. But we also had the winners of each of the other pods were the people who went undefeated for the last 3 weeks.
Similar to Nova.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like a lot of things about the format. Like, I've gotten some feedback from people. People did really seem to like it. And this was definitely the winning option in the poll I put up about what people wanted to do for the next one. It was nice in that you got to see a mix of people earlier in the league, but then when you got down to it, like the ones that were going to decide the prizes, you were playing against folks who had kind of leveled out to the same spot you were. And there were some stakes for the last 3 weeks.
And it also lets you
sometimes
give out more evenly the prize pool too, right? In general.
Well, I mean, just that we awarded first and second place in all of the pods.
And it was 4 or 5 pods.
4 pods.
Okay, so yeah, fair.
And, one of them was oversized because we didn't quite have 40 people. So I ended up doing one bigger pod instead of 4 8-person pods and then one smaller pod. So we had more. I mean, we always give out 100% of the entry fees as the prize pool,
which is
What
awesome.
was different this time is we had a larger number of people who were winning a prize based on their placing. And historically, we've had a smaller number of people who won placing-based prizes. But then we also give out a bunch of prizes for stuff like Will got one for playing 9 different teams into 9 different teams in 9 weeks. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
we usually give a prize to the person who has the most tie games in a league.
Which was like Alex?
You could Michael.
It was Michael, yeah. Which, by the way, shout out to Michael. He was in our scene originally, and he just came back after a long hiatus. And I think, in my opinion, we actually just got another. I think we might be getting Craig back too, who was part of our original community too. So like, Kill Team is like starting to pick people back up too, after long hiatuses, and it's just growing more than ever.
But so that said, like, that was nice about this new format. The problem is that it meant that at the end of week 7, I had to run around like chasing people to finish all the games and submit all their scores so that I could figure out who was in which pod. And then every week of the pods, 3 weeks in a row, I had to have the results because I needed the results to figure out the pairings, because it's literally a bracket. Like, I need the previous round's results. And so the feedback I have gotten from people is that, like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, I didn't feel like you were just banging on my head all the time. But I think that it felt much worse for me because everyone who was missing a game, I was hassling. And anyone who was missing a game only got hassled once, right?
It did seem to me that we enjoyed the option that is the most work for you, and I'm sorry for that. I truly am. But as somebody who has, like, you know, in the league before this, like, I play in the league all the time, and I was really excited because I think that was the first league where we had like these 40 players. It was massive. And I was really excited to, like, you know, meet more of these people. And like, I certainly did. But, you know, I think it's just a very different sort of thing when you're, like, you know, locked in combat with them across the table versus like just kind of going up and introducing yourself. And this was such great because I got like a chance to really like meet and play against like a lot of people.
Yeah. But so also, I understand why people liked it, but also this was far and away the biggest problem for me as a league organizer in terms of format.
Let me then instead say thank you so much for all of the hard work that you do, because it means a lot to me and the rest of us.
You're very welcome.
And fuck you, Harper. Play your games in person, you hoe.
At least on time. Like,
get him.
We bully TTS players here because it's not real Kill Team.
Yeah. Yeah.
I genuinely, that's a real belief. I don't think it is. It's good for practicing teams. It's good for getting the vibes of teams. I don't think it is like good to play it consistently because it warps your brain and that you can't perfectly measure in a way that TTS lets you do it. Just saying.
I think that's a legitimate hot take. I agree with it, but it's also, I think, a legitimate hot take.
Yeah, I think they're very different, but still fun.
Yeah, absolutely still fun. It's just, I think if you're going to a high-level tournament, I think TTS is a very limited tool. That's all.
I mean, is it fun though?
So, Mark, in a league that had 34 players, we saw 36 of the 42 teams in the game in this league.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Are you? I assume you're counting the new ones in there, right? Canoptic and Deathwatch.
You're talking about Deathwatch and Canoptic?
Yeah.
Yes. I was surprised, and in hindsight, I should not have been, that in the last week of the league,
it was a bunch of Canoptic
when those teams had been out for a week, suddenly a bunch of people showed up who had like built the models. Some of them were even painted, which I found just offensive, frankly. But people apparently build and paint way, way faster than me. And yes, so we had
I'm glad it can be such a bad
2 Deathwatch games. And maybe we did not actually have a Canoptic Circle game recorded in this league. Probably because that team is harder to assemble and people weren't done yet.
Yes, can confirm.
But so we have 2 Deathwatch games included here, but no Canoptic.
Cool. All right. So my first question, as we start diving into the numbers, did Implant do statistically better since Ravener's release?
It is still the case that, like, archetype-wise, that Infiltration lags.
Yeah, 100%.
So we were just 54.5% win rate on Seek and Destroy, 53.25% on Security, call it 47.33% on Recon. So those are all in that 45 to 55 range. Nothing to sweat about. I think we're okay. Infiltration is up from where it used to be. Mm-hmm. It is now at 41 and change.
How much did it go up?
Significant increase.
Yeah, but say how much did it go up?
8% from last time?
That sounds right. I think it was about a third before.
And what happened in between last league and this league? Raveners got released.
Implant has risen to a 42% win rate
from
over the life of the edition.
Mm.
Also, I think Alex started playing Mandrakes, and they surveil super well.
Yeah, sure do.
Implant seems to continue to do poorly in Into the Dark. It's spot on 50% on open maps.
What was its overall growth from last time we did this?
I don't have that readily to hand.
Damn you, Mark.
I don't track TAC Ops per league because we don't have enough games. To slice it that fine.
I'll take a 10% jump being attributed to without this knowing this to be true. I will bet my last dollar that 10% jump is from Raveners and Implant.
So if you want to find out, I know we talked about this the last time I was on the pod, which was after the prior league. So you go, hey folks, go listen to the old podcast, earn these boys a YouTube visit while you're at it, and you could find out.
Joe, go listen to the old podcast on YouTube. And
totally. I'll go do that.
Yeah, but off the.
I was just curious about that because it's just.
This is another thing that I will have an easier time doing in the new system is that type of filtering. One more reason to get that done.
I had not considered over the life of the edition, even though I knew the approved Ops 24 would end and a new approved Ops would show up. If you can tease out that data, I have a feeling that people would be interested. At least I would be interested in using that as a resource to sort of fine-tune not only strategy going forward, but as a sort of way to track balance of the game and the rules right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that would be valuable. The tool set that I have right now is not hang on, let me just click on this thing and hit the enter key, and then I can just tell you, the data's there, I could figure it out, but you guys don't want to watch me go to that level of effort while we're trying to record.
Yeah.
The remaining redheaded bastard stepchild of this whole thing is
Wiretap.
I have
the worst
an amazing piece of news, which is that the win rate for Wiretap has risen, and you might be in a position to ask, well, Mark, how much higher is it than it used to be? And the answer is not a number, because the win rate has risen above 0% for the very first time, and I can't divide by 0. So the win rate for Wiretap is now, they once tied a game in which someone took Wiretap. Once. One time.
Ending the season strong. Let's go.
The best part about this is that this is certainly a move that somebody has done out of spite to purposefully raise the win rate
and
of
all
Wiretap,
they could manage was
no
a tie.
Reason.
You fucking loser. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think you're an absolute champion if you manage to even tie a game having taken Wiretap.
Yeah, frankly.
And so, we didn't have all that many attempts of those better part of 1,000 games. Anyone want to guess how many times people took Wiretap total?
4.
I was also going to say less than 5, but I'll take 5.
I'll take 2.
The answer is 5.
Yeah.
So they technically have a 10% win rate. There's 4 losses and 1 tie.
Jesus. Great. Best TAC op ever.
wiretap walked so plant device could run. And I think plant device is a good tech op.
Plant device is going to be a problem. I'm foreseeing.
It's so toxic. It's such bad.
It facilitates on I played today stake claim with plant device, and I went, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this? If I play the game, they just score 6 points. And if they have...
I mean, that's the most infiltrate thing I could ever think of, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's just like, if you got the bodies to burn them on the pile. That's 6 points for your mom, you know?
While we're on the subject of the dearly departed TAC Ops, I have a question about Infiltrate's ugly stepbrother, and that is Seek and Destroy.
Yeah.
And I kind of can't figure it out on my own, so I'm interested to know what out of all of these games was the best Seek and Destroy TAC Op.
I'm gonna guess. What were the Seek and Destroy TAC Ops? Was Champion,
Overrun, and Storm Objectives.
Oh, it's gonna be Storm for sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Storm.
I think it's going to be Champion because I think it was, Elites did that well, and Elites were the only people taking it, really.
So Champion finished out at a 55 and 1/3% win rate.
Pretty good.
As compared to Storm Objectives, which is about 68 and a third.
Ooh, wow.
And therefore, far and away, the best TAC op of the Approved Ops 2024 pack.
Is there any TAC op that beats it overall?
No. It's the highest scoring one.
Yeah,
it has both the highest number of.
To me,
I take that back. It is not the highest number of points, but it is absolutely the highest winning average.
That is 100%
win percentage.
There's two things: poor map design, in my opinion, particularly on fucking Into the Dark, and I bet the numbers show it. That it's much better on Into the Dark. I bet you money.
I find Storm to be much harder.
It is 65% on Into the Dark, and it is 71.5 on Vulcus.
Boom.
Yes, because some of the Vulcus maps are also super bad, and like
I think almost all the Vulcus maps are very easy to Storm objectives on.
There's like 2 of them that aren't, but I agree overall. If Storm was on these new maps, it would be the far and away the best one. It's crazy.
Yeah, Storm, real good.
Glad it's gone. It was very toxic, in my opinion.
I mean, it's not nearly as toxic as Plant Devices.
Sure, agreed. But I'm just saying, in terms of ease to score, and that's what we've kind of seen overall now, is that like the new TAC ops are much harder to score. Outside of probably Plant Devices.
It was no like additional action point investment outside of just going and killing a dude.
Yeah,
or standing on your Burns home objective and just like calling it
exactly. Exactly. And I mean, it's disruptive. You have to go and deal with it. I
played a game of Extraction where I picked up where I used Storm objectives, and I extracted on my opponent's home objective last, and then picked it up, and now I had it for the rest of the game, and just kept scoring it.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was. It felt good.
That's pretty silly.
Does anyone want to guess what the second highest win rate of all of the TAC ops?
Take Ground.
Oh, Take Ground. Yeah, Take Ground.
Yeah, Take Ground at 64.9.
Yeah. Both of those TAC ops I think were very poorly designed.
I think it's probably Plant or Confirm Kill after that.
Yeah.
So those two were the only two significantly above 55%. Overrun squeaked over 55 and change. And then we had some clear underperformers, but like Recover Items and Contain were both basically even 50%.
That's crazy to me because Contain was thought to be like the be all end all at the beginning.
And then people were like, "Oh, I just run up the board."
Yeah.
It shows the overall growth of the community from beginning to end.
And Contain works much better into some matchups than others.
Yeah, agreed.
The number of people who sat down across the table from me and said, "Oh, I am playing against Mark French,
and
who I know and whose style I am aware of, and he is playing Goremongers, I know I'll take Contain continues to amaze me because people keep doing it. And it's like, I guess they'll stop now because the attack up doesn't exist anymore. But the number of people are like, oh, yeah, I'll keep him on his side of the board. No problem.
If you are playing a game against Mark French and you are not taking Martyrs as your attack op, you are playing the game wrong.
Bro,
incorrectly.
Or if you take, was it Dominate and you get that to work, I'm just saying it's going to be good for you. You're gonna win that game against Mark Friend.
Yeah. Well, listen, like
trade and
there's
trade
no
away.
mystery with me. I'm a lot of things, but I'm an open book. Like notable low scoring options, secure center sucks a bunch. It's below 40%.
Yeah.
Wiretap, obviously.
Worst stack up in the game.
Plant beacons was 42.4. It's not good. It's too much action economy. Surveillance was 44 and a third, and
two teams could play it, and even then, it's a lot of action economy.
Yep, and implant was just under 42. There were some clear winners and losers here.
What was the most played team this time around?
You want that for the most recent league or for the edition?
Both. Well, let's start with the league.
Both.
Yeah. For the league, I would guess most played team this league, I think, is going to be... I think it's going to be Sanctifiers.
Might be Raveners.
I'm not going to bother guessing. I have no idea.
There are not quite twice as many Raveners games as Sanctifiers.
RIP. I guess it's just like I've seen so many striking Sanctifiers models this time around, and so it looked like there was a lot of them.
Just lodged in your brain.
Raveners.
I think that the number of people who painted a 5-bug team versus the number of people who painted a Sanctifiers team. Second most picked was Legionary.
So I was right. It was Raveners.
Yeah, Raveners. Far and away.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, not far and away. There was actually one fewer Legionary games recorded than Raveners games. But two of those are the highest. They're followed one. So you had Raveners. One less than that was Legionary. One less than that was Hyrotech.
Really?
There's a lot of people around here have been playing Hyrotech. You got Necron Nick back in the fold.
Yeah,
man.
that's actually that tells me that the local meta, like the
is
quality of player, has increased in the local meta to make that a viable pick.
And sorry, I skipped them, but Legionary is actually tied with Plague Marines.
Which also makes sense because they're just super accessible.
That tells me the quality. No.
You better show the fuck out of my Plague Marines,
and then that's followed a little ways farther back. There's a little bit bigger gap to Mandrakes, and then
that's
Blades
Alex
of Cain
carrying it on his back.
And Blades of Cain. We had more Blades of Cain games than any one person could have submitted this league. So we definitely had multiple people playing Blades of Cain.
Yeah, I remember James was all in the Blades of Cain wagon.
And Hand of the Archon has enough games that it couldn't all been one person. So just elves, just elf soup up in.
People just wanted to be hurt.
Dude, I'll be honest, dude. I've had an itch to try Hand.
That's the whole Hand of the Archon thing, right?
Dude, do we think Hand is good?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good.
I don't know.
Well, okay. So what do you think their win rate was this league?
Probably in the 40s.
46-ish.
44.
Are we about to get surprised?
Joe, you going to pick an actual number, or you just...
Oh, sure. I'll go 41.
41.6.
Ooh.
Which is less than 1% below their win rate for the edition as a whole. Because I have that now too, is the delta for this league versus the edition as a whole.
That's very weird. They got it.
Yeah, they got nerfed.
Right, but I'm saying
they got nerfed by they dropped by 0.8%.
That's what I'm saying.
Win rate.
Yeah.
And the numbers are small enough that some of that is just that
and
because the denominators are shifting around, you can't get
more
than a couple of percent
you also have to remember that they weren't like a dominant team before they got nerfed.
Yeah,
It's not like they had like a 70% win
crazy.
rate and then they got like nerfed.
They were
into
like,
oblivion,
that was such a fucking strange nerf. That was so.
It was unnecessary.
It was.
They nerfed all the elf teams.
But like I just don't understand that nerf. It's so fucking odd.
I don't understand.
So they were 41.6,
so I'm okay with it
for the edition as a whole, and they're 42 and a half. Or sorry, they're 42 and a half for the edition as a whole, and 41.6 in this league.
That's another team I'm in. That's in my peripheral. If for some reason they get their shit back, even I don't see.
Dude, Hand's so cool though. They have 2 models that hit on 2s.
I know.
The Dark Lance.
Yeah.
Love the Dark Lance.
The Dark Lance is actually, I think, pretty tight right now, given the fucking amount of big bodies running around.
Yeah, it used to be great when it had Ceaseless in its pocket.
Yeah.
But, so who do you guys think are the problem children?
In terms of win rate?
That is to say, teams that have a relatively high pick rate and a disproportionate win rate.
Are you talking about for this particular
Oh my god,
league?
not everyone at once.
For this league or for the AO24?
For this league.
Raveners. It's Raveners, Sanctifiers.
Raveners, Sanctifiers, Hierotech Circle.
Yeah, Hierotech Circle. And
probably Goremongers.
Yeah, probably Goremongers.
So Goremongers were at 65.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
but
bad.
hang on, Joe. Goremongers were at 65.3. Raveners were at 68.2.
That's really bad too.
Sanctifiers were at 69 and a quarter.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Exaction Squad is at 70%.
Hell yeah! Let's go!
Okay, how many games comparatively though?
Considerably fewer.
That's
small numbers.
Also,
caution.
Pushed out to the
But
side.
Exaction Squad is a hard counter to, for example, Goremongers.
Yeah, so no, actually, that's interesting in the context of our league. Like, if you took Exaction Squad, it's actually a good pick into our specific meta because we have Sanctifiers, because we have Raveners running around a bunch, and Goremongers. That tracks.
They also don't have a lot of like truly bad matchups. They have a few,
No.
but not a lot.
But hang on.
Angels of Death,
72 and a quarter.
Yeah, let's go.
This league?
Yeah.
This league.
Somebody was playing them in the top pod.
Yeah. And you want to guess what Blooded's win rate was?
Oh, that's purely on Fish.
Yeah, but I would say that
80%?
was...
Yeah, Fish won most of his games. It's probably 70 or 80%, somewhere in that range.
81 and a quarter.
Yeah. And it's probably about 10
Blooded
games.
are
Right?
good. Blooded are like the only horde team besides. I mean, Sanctifiers are barely a horde, but like Blooded are as a true horde.
And also, they're
Blooded
really
are
good into our elite meta. So like,
Okay. So wait now. I have not yet mentioned the team with the highest win rate in the most recent league.
okay, now before you say this, is it a statistically significant amount of games?
It's 3.
So no.
No.
yeah, but it still has the highest win rate.
Sure. And it's probably 100%.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they lost even one of them,
Yeah, it would be
lower than
far
the
fewer.
We've already read.
That's how math
The
works.
urge to your mom joke is hard. Please do not keep me in suspense. I don't think I can hold it.
Nemesis Claw.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Wait, really? Only 3 Nemesis Claw games the entire league?
3
That
and
is
0.
surprising.
Yeah.
That
That is
very
very
surprising.
surprising.
I don't know what happened to you guys in the triangle.
No,
but y'all
you know
stopped
what it
being
is?
freaks.
I think
And I think
people
we need
got
to change that. I think people need to go back to being a freak.
no. I think people got scared of the nerf. I think that's what happened.
I
I
don't
just
think so.
I just think that there's a lot of teams. That's the thing.
I think there's a lot of teams, and not nearly enough people are truly freak.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, look, I like playing Nemclaw, but like when I'm looking at the other Chaos Space Marine models, I think that the other models are just better. I think Plague Marines are a better looking team. I think Legionary is a better looking team.
Agreed.
I mean, Legionnaire is the fucking classic. You can't beat that.
That's why my Legionary were my Nemclaw.
Yeah, Legionnaire is one of the only teams that I'm sad is like going away. That and like a few, like one other team. But
Well, this is an interesting question, kind of based on that, Mark. Can you tell me, of the teams that are getting declassified later this year, who performed the best in Approved Ops 2024?
It's Blooded.
All right, hang on. Let me go to the full set instead of just
it's definitely Legionnaire. There's no way it's not Legionnaire.
It would either be Legionnaire or maybe Corsairs, just in our specific meta.
Yeah, maybe. It's got to be Legionnaires. There's too many Legionnaire players in our area.
Yeah, but that also means that it's a higher percentage of games, and so it could kind of move more towards the median.
Well, I think because they were broken for about half of it, so like...
They were broken for...
a good bit, yeah. That's a good point.
They were definitely broken for 3 months.
So at least one league.
I think they got a pretty good tamping after the first 3 months, and they were fine.
Yeah, and then they got tamped again, so...
Yeah, they were mostly fine after the first.
So, are the White Dwarf teams on the declassified list? So, like, Battleclade is going away? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hunterclade is going away.
Oh, no, sorry. Hunterclade, not Battleclade. You're right. Yes.
They're very different. How could you not tell them apart?
One of them's got skinny robots and the other one's got fat robots. It's easy to tell. Hunterclade is far and away the underperformer of the teams that are going away.
Weird. Crazy. Shocking.
Edition long. What's the win rate with Hunterclade?
Oh, God.
12%.
Yeah, I'm going to go...
I was going to say 13%, unironically.
6%.
Goose egg.
Oh!
Nice. That's... I don't think...
Wait, well, how many games?
Played them at all, so...
Just one.
I'm going to say it's one fucking game, yeah.
Yeah, so... But they are showing a 0. As is Gellerpox.
Oh, that's sad.
To be fair, both of those teams are actually fine, despite how much I'm mad that they the faction.
Oh, and Wormblade for that matter, 0%.
Which honestly, hot take. I don't know if y'all saw, but Dan Barton just fucking took down the London Grand Tournament, fucking 6-0 in the current meta with the current TAC Ops with fucking Wormblade. I was going over their rules.
Wormblade have never been.
I mean, we had a vanishingly small pick rate for all those teams.
It's just all of the White Dwarf teams are very expensive to collect.
Yeah.
They are a little esoteric to play, and the only one that saw any traction was wildly overpowered. And then when it stopped being wildly overpowered,
people dropped it.
Play rate tanked.
So, all of teams that are going away, Deathcore, just over an 11% win rate. Star Striders, right at a third. Low pick rates. Deathcore, a fair number of games, but Star Striders, very few. Gellerpox, sitting on a goose egg with not a huge number of games. Hunterclade played one game and lost it. Commandos had a pretty high pick rate, but only a 38% win rate.
That doesn't surprise me.
Legionary had a pretty friggin' strong pick rate and a 62.25% win rate.
That doesn't surprise me.
They were very popular and quite good. Novitiates at about a 38% win rate on a moderate pick rate.
Mostly by Alex.
Pathfinders, this edition had a fairly low pick rate and a 15% win rate.
They're probably correlated.
It did turn out not to be very good and Into the Dark.
It turned out to just not be very good until basically the end of the edition.
Phobos is 34.5% on a quite solid pick rate. Void Dancers played 3 games and went 1-2. Warp Coven, solid pick rate, 60% win rate. And Wormblade played 1 game and lost it.
Yeah, that makes all sense to me. So it sounds like it was Legionary. It's like the
highest win rate of the teams going away was Blooded, who were at north of 69.5%.
What was their pick rate in comparison to Legionary?
About half.
Yeah, so it sounds like Legionary is going to be the one that people are going to be sad about. There's a high pick rate, high win rate.
Yeah. Yeah, Legionary has the second highest pick rate of all teams, whether they're being declassified or not, and a north of 62% win rate. So that seems right.
Pretty good for the veterans of the Long War, if I do say so.
Turns out they may have learned a thing or two.
I actually have a question about the crit ops. Since now we're getting a new proved ops, brand new crit ops. I wanted to know what was the sort of air around the crit ops. I know that I'm going to be missing. I'll legitimately be missing extraction and power surge. I think those are super fun. But I know those are not well liked tack on or crit ops.
I'm gonna miss coordinates, man. Coordinates was awesome. I love that mission.
There was, as you might expect, a relatively wide spread of like average scoring across crit ops. Secures at the top because once anyone scores a point, someone will always score that point. It generates more scoring. Intel was at the bottom because you could spend one action point to permanently destroy points that then no one could score. What a shock. Coordinates was the second highest scoring crit op.
Yeah.
After secure.
I always said it was like the plant beacons of crit op, because you do the action and you're basically immediately rewarded, even though it was scored at the end of the game.
Yep. So upload and Intel are both scoring on average between 2.5 and 3 points a game. And all of the other ones are scoring between 3 and 4 points a game. And it looks like 3 of the 4 highest scoring crit ops are the ones that are sticking around. So that's secure, loot, transmission.
Which are just classics.
Yeah. But given the seeming difficulty of scoring the new crit ops, I actually expect that, like, if we look at this a year from now, that those 3 are going to be higher scoring than the others, and it'll be like a significant categorical gap.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Like more of a gap than we've had this edition.
What was the sweatiest of the crit ops?
Loot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad that we get to keep that one then.
Yeah. And as a reminder for listeners, our sweatiness measure here is just a game is a crit op is considered more sweaty if it tends to produce games that are both high scoring and where the difference between the winning score and the losing score is small. So loot tends to produce high scoring close games, and therefore we think of it as sweaty.
Yeah, I think of that as fun, but what are the crit ops that everyone is sad to see go? I know Mark said coordinates.
I also actually was one of the people who really liked extraction because, like, you had to think about it for a second.
Yeah.
But then having thought about it, it's not rocket science. It's just, can you make your plan happen? And I kind of liked that it was a thinking man's crit op.
Yeah. Look, when you ran away with 5 points on turn 2 in our most recent game, like, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I just, y'all are not going to get me to agree on this. It allowed shenanigans in a way that, like, is just not fun, in my opinion.
Well, let me ask you this.
Only if you didn't think about it and plan for it.
Is there a tac op, or rather, is there a crit op in the new approved ops that you think is worse? Would you rather be playing extraction, or would you rather be playing energy cells?
I don't honestly. I might fucking not like stake claim.
I like stake claim.
I think teams that don't need, like, that really abuse the fuck out of the fact that they don't have to rely on mission actions just kind of win it. Like, I think Warmongers fucking love that mission.
Yeah, but there's so many missions that are so mission action dependent that I think it's fine to have one or two that aren't. Like, you need a balance.
Right, but it's the capture problem, right? Is that, like, obviously people that were playing certain teams was like, oh man, we gotta play capture.
Well, I'll tell you, the thing about that though is I mean I agree. Like, we are going to see more of these like teams like Goremongers. I mean, that's part of why Galerpox are having their renaissance right now, is because they like the capture style missions. But the caveat about that is it opens up like the play where, you know, if you're playing, like, let's say you're playing Nemesis Claw, you're going to love capture style missions. You go, you kill something on the point, you get rewarded. But teams that out activate you are going to get to shoot you when you're on the point, which has always been the bane of capture style teams.
Or just throw bodies at you and then they capture it instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's fun.
So I like capture style missions as long as that's not the only thing you're ever going to do in a tournament.
It just makes me really want to avoid 6-body teams now, because I just think they're just so, like, Deathwatch is different because Deathwatch has just.
I think Deathwatch have an even harder time with it because they have one less body.
Right, but they have the full
Raveners are going to have a really hard time on these capture style missions.
Yeah,
honestly,
I agree. I 100% agree because they don't want to be on the map.
I mean, I am here to vote for Raveners leaving bugs where we can get to them. But
yeah,
that's mostly because I'm still butthurt that I scored 0 on the kill op in my game into Mark.
Well, that's the only op he cares about.
Correct, yes.
I scored 0 on the crit up that game, though, right? Yeah. I think it was a fair trade.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why I'm hoping that this next slate's going to have a light touch, because we just don't know what the fuck the meta looks like right now.
Yeah, I'm optimistic that that's what we would see.
I don't think we're really going to get any nerfs. I think it's just going to be all buffs.
You don't expect them to touch Canoptic at all?
I don't expect them to touch Canoptic at all.
Mark, is there any other like outstanding stats that you want to touch on before we get out of here?
So, you know, if you recall, early in the edition, and throughout last edition, we talked about like some of the weird statistical anomalies we had around initiative. And the last time we chatted about it, I told you that like it had basically smoothed out. And it made sense again. We didn't have this upside down world where the highest win rate was associated with always losing initiative. Like that could possibly have been true. And we basically got to the point where the numbers eventually evened out and it's no longer true. That's still the case. Like this league didn't push us back into some bizarro world of initiative. But
my data's not in there.
The interesting thing to me is that in our attempt to just explain what in the hell was happening with initiative, you'll remember that I had the basic initiative numbers, and then I started doing initiative weighted by player elo and faction elo, and then the combination of the two to be able to say, like, did initiative cause people to win more or less than we would have expected a player of that skill to win in a vacuum? Right? And so at the end of the edition, where we ended up is that in general, winning initiative more made you win more, which
real shock.
Extra CP aside should not really surprise anyone, right? Like, but what is interesting to me is that when you look at the numbers weighted by elo, that stops being true. And I don't think it's actually the case that like better players win less when they win initiative more. I don't think that's what's happening here.
I can tell you what's happening.
Do think is happening is that better players get much less advantage from lots of initiative. I think that less experienced players benefit from winning initiative more than very experienced players, because very experienced players are better at handling it when they don't have initiative. They're better at setting up at the end of the turn before. So even if they don't win initiative, they're not just doomed. And so when you look at the weighted numbers, it turns out that compared to what we know about just if you include absolutely everybody with no adjustment, the very most experienced players are not getting enough juice out of additional initiative to make up for the weighting adjustment. And that's really interesting to me. Like, I think that's actually a neat insight about the game. And it proves something that, you know, we probably kind of knew, in that, like, people who are very good at this game, part of what they're good at is setting up so that they don't need to win initiative in order to pull it off.
Which is intuitive.
Which is something I've been proving since like the first or second league, because I never win initiative.
Right. But back when you were doing it, George, you had so skewed these numbers that we didn't have this insight. Like, I didn't have the data to prove what we all kind of knew. And now we've gotten to the point that enough of the bizarro statistical noise has fallen out of the data set, or at least been overwhelmed by like more normal games, that we can now actually say that's the case, which I actually think is kind of neat.
Another thing in that, since this edition started and you have now a reason to go second, or at least a benefit for going second, that better players recognize when they win initiative that giving it away is a legitimately useful thing to do.
Absolutely.
So that's another, like, I don't know if your data is set up to handle that winning initiative, but going second is still winning initiative.
It's not. Well, okay, no, so that's not true. In turn one, I do absolutely have that data. But because we're trying to strike this balance between having a lot of these interesting data points to report on and trying to make it easy for people to submit their results, we only ask who won the initiative roll, whether or not they had initiative, for the very first pregame roll. We don't ask people that every turn, just because the amount of paperwork that people are doing to submit their scores, like, you got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, I think changing that to who won the initiative roll going forward actually would have been useful for all of our Proof Ops 2020. Oh no, it would still be useful because CP is still a thing. Well,
and now the cards are going to be awarded based on who wins the roll, not on who has initiative.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a whole other thing. I'd be happy to consider whether we ask people who won the roll and just not ask who had initiative.
I think that's more important, is who won the roll, not who had initiative. Although I think both are important, but I think winning the roll is more important.
Yeah. And I mean, to kind of like echo the point that you made, where it's like being able to perform well, whether you have the initiative or not, I think it's just going to be such it's going to be a higher value skill moving forward, just because it's not, you're going to be in so many fewer situations where it's like somebody has initiative every single turn, because with the cards and with the ability to manipulate the initiative up and down pretty consistently, you're going to see so many more games where like the player who has it on turn 3 is not going to have it on turn 4, just because +3 is just such a big number to come up with.
Yeah, right? My expectation is that what is actually going to happen is that we are going to trend towards a situation in which you win half the rolls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Because every time you lose a roll, you are more likely to at least have the option to win the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should definitely have capped that to +1 modifier for the initiative roll every turn, not progressively larger, because it's just too guaranteed, I think.
And I also really wonder what is going to happen. How often is someone going to use the turn 2 card to give themselves -2 in the turn 3 roll so that they can have the +3 card going into turn 4?
I hadn't thought about that.
I think more than 0, but I think it's always a bad call. You always want to win initiative whenever you can, because the choice of going first and doing the things you want to do, or if you have nothing to do, to give yourself 2 CP is still too strong for even making up for an increase in initiative for the next turn.
The other thing, too, is that you had previously pointed out, Mark, that based on our data, the most important initiative role to win is in turn 3. You want to go first on turn 3. And even though I do think that having initiative on turning point 4 is going to be more important than it's ever been, just based on the state of like the crit ops being scored at the end of the game and stuff like that, I do still think that turn 3 is going to be the most important role, just because like the board is like set up, like everybody's started to blow their load at that point. You're going and you're killing models. You want to have initiative there to go and just like wreak havoc and, basically take your opponent's APL off the board.
Yeah. It is definitely the case that if you were to choose your choice of any 2 turns, you want 3 and 4. Those are the ones.
Absolutely.
That pairing. And if you win initiative, like if you have initiative, both turns 3 and 4, this is the non-weighted number. This is the overall. You're at a 95.7% win rate.
And those are the 2 turns that you're least likely to have at this point now because of the +3, -3 chord.
Yeah. And even in the weighted numbers that drag that way down, it's still 62.4. So like 3 and 4 make a big deal. And I agree with you that I think the number of cases in which the same player has initiative 3 and 4 is going to go way down.
Way down, yeah. Which I guess hearing, basing it on the data we have available is probably a good thing as far as like, keeping games close as concerned. But I wish, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I wish it was more random.
I mean, I think that there is real value in the skill expression that comes from not knowing who's going to have initiative next turn and planning accordingly.
Yeah.
But if you know that you've got a +3 and a reroll still in your pocket from the start of the game, I think you could probably set up at the end of turn 3 and just take it for granted that you're going to have initiative turn 4, right? Because like a D6 with a reroll, your average result is 4. And if you got the +3 card in your pocket, you've got 7, and like get wrecked, right? Yeah. Like I'm going to go.
If you've got the +3 and you win initiative, which you should because you got the +3, you need to roll a 3 or higher, which is a 66% chance to just win initiative.
Although now in every turn after the first, tie does go to the player who didn't have it last turn. Is that true?
Ties still go to the player who did not have first activation. So winning the roll has nothing to do with who would break ties. But it does have everything to do with who gets the initiative cards.
Yeah, but because we know that turn 3 initiative is so important, if your opponent won the roll on turn 3, they probably took initiative turn 3, which means you get both the card and the tiebreaker in turn 4. Yeah. Which, you like your odds at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about it as like a new system, and like the games I've played with it so far have been really fun, and I think it's like interesting the way it's changing the game for sure.
I like that there's no scouting option.
I'm hopeful that like in whatever ends up happening in 2026, there's like a happy medium, because I think that the initiative stuff's good. I also think scouting's good. I think scouting is just interesting and fun. But, so it was imbalanced as it was.
Scouting in the previous edition, I think, was interesting and fun.
Yes.
Scouting this edition
was imbalanced and bad.
Well, where everyone starts on conceal. Yeah. It used to be that, like, maybe I try and set up an alpha strike because we're both, like, trying to leave somebody unengaged so we can get some turn 1 offense. And then, like, the rock, paper, scissors game, like, I could really play it seriously and think, like, okay, this thing benefits me more, but this thing gets me to go first, and I want to try and get this alpha strike. Whereas currently, like, everyone just takes equip.
Yeah.
And doesn't really care whether they go first turn 1 or not. Like, they'd rather not, because they're hoping to go first turn 2, or going first turn 2. But, like, it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, scouting was boring and bad at this edition. And I am not sad to see it go.
Well, sad to see the last league of Approved Ops 2024 go, but by the time this episode comes out, we will already have begun the new league. So definitely excited to get some more games in. Anything, the final word from you, Mark, before we get out of here?
I guess as you are listening to this, if you have not already, go sign up for the tournament that is coming up in just a couple days after this episode will air.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the table.
Favorite place to jam at Atomic Empire. Don't miss it. And thanks a lot for hanging out tonight, guys. It's been a blast.
Thanks for having me.
Still suits.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Vox Screen. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Please follow, subscribe, and leave us a review. Any of those things are going to help us grow. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with another episode.